Hi everybody, my name is Nathan Adam here with the Curb College at Belmont University, and I'm joined by
Amanda Wolfgram. Hi.
And we're going to be taking you through a quick overview of your My Belmont so that when you jump in, you can find your way around, get to all the links that you need to use on a regular basis as you pursue your degree here at Belmont. As a quick overview, once you log into My Belmont, you're going to notice on the left-hand side, you've got a bunch of links and shortcuts to a variety of different services and pages that you're going to use, as well as a favorites tab here at the top that you can drag and drop these icons up into for things that you need to access maybe every day or more regularly. Here in the center, you're going to see announcements, campus-wide notifications, things that are going to change regularly but that are going to affect all of us. So you'll see everything from orientation info here if you're a brand new student, making payments, and then as well as major campus announcements and initiatives here in the center. Over on the right-hand side, you can find everything from a full calendar to your convocation schedule, as well as things that are just happening today, and any convos or any events that are going to be able to receive convo credit will be highlighted in red. Amanda, go ahead and take us through some of these different shortcuts that you use and show us how they affect your progress through Belmont.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the main ones, obviously, is Gmail. So you're going to want to check this like every single day just because you get so many emails in college. It's kind of crazy because professors will email you. It'll be like your main source of communication throughout campus. Like even if I'm working on a group project and I don't have someone's number, I can just type in their name into their email and it'll pop up. It's super easy and helpful.
Email.
Yes.
Fascinating. Who knew?
Great.
Okay.
And then, so Bannerweb right here is going to be where you can see a lot of like your registration information and like personal information, stuff like that. So if you go to the student tab, you can go to registration and all this stuff. And we'll go over this more in depth a little bit later. And then if you go back, so Blackboard is another big thing. So this is where all of your assignments are going to be posted. I typically will take tests on Blackboard as well, just because my professors will post a lot of information on there. And so you can also see all of your grades, which is really, really helpful.
So for the most part, if you're taking class-related stuff, it's going to be found on Blackboard.
Yes, so you can go to like this courses tab and it'll show you all the courses that you're currently enrolled in, and then it'll just, each professor sets up their page a little bit differently. Some professors just don't even use Blackboard at all. It kind of just depends on how they want to structure the class. But
and it probably depends on the class too. Something that's maybe just a racquetball class probably doesn't have a whole lot of Blackboard usage.
Right, exactly. So it just depends on the class. But I've had some that are very, very Blackboard heavy. You submit all your assignments on there, especially if you have online classes. This is going to be your main source of information for that.
Very cool. And for clicking to finding their grades on average?
Yeah, so there's just this little grades tab down here. So you just go there and it'll tell you exactly what this is. And so it just depends on how the teacher sets it up. But you can just scroll down and see all of those right there. And it's really, really easy.
This guy's having a rough semester.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so then another really important thing is Bruin Link.
Okay.
So this is where you can see all of the organizations on campus.
Yeah.
So we have, I think, over 160 organizations, which is really awesome. So there's lots to choose from. You can find exactly like what you're looking for.
Wow.
So you can go to events and kind of see what's going on just around campus and stuff like that. Organizations, this is where you can look through all of the organizations we have on campus, and then we'll have a fair in the fall at the beginning of the semester, so you guys can like find out all the different information about different organizations on campus so you can get plugged in to where you want.
So whereas just a student organization might not necessarily be able to post a whole or post something up here on this directly, they can always post something there under Bruin Link so that if you're a member of that organization or interested in it, you can find it.
Yeah, and then you can register for organizations on here as well, and if there's any sort of reason to sign a risk and release form, like that will be on Bruin Link as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
So then if you go back, so Class Finder we'll talk about in a minute, but this is where you are going to find all the information for all your classes. It's a great tool just to see everything kind of in one spot, so you can just go and see like everything in the art category, and you just see all the times and locations and like exactly what classes you need and the CRNs, which is going to be really important for when you register for classes.
And you can actually find another great video on that with Patricia Chafin, where we actually walk through each section of this site. So Class Finder, check that video out.
Yeah, super helpful. So another thing, I guess, is directory. So in case you just need to find someone's email on campus or phone number for whatever reason, you can just go here, type in their name, and it'll bring it up exactly.
I want to see if I'm on here.
Okay.
Boom.
Got it.
Well done. All right.
So easy. So so then you can go to Handshake. This is just kind of like a get started page, but it'll show you all of the internships or jobs that are available in the immediate area, or if you're trying to do like Belmont West or East, there are even internships posted that are in LA and New York, which is really cool. So this is really helpful. Also, you can register for a lot of events on Handshake. So most of the Curb College events you have to register for because there's only so many spaces for a lot of them, and a lot of them
Yeah.
get really, really popular. So you have to go on Handshake and register for those, so you make sure you get a spot in them.
So when you guys are looking for an internship, they're all going to be found here under that Handshake link. As you're getting there, be sure to talk to your advisor well in advance, even as a freshman or a sophomore or a recent transfer, so that you can be thinking ahead and planning for those internships. And then, of course, find them on Handshake.
Yeah, and you can even post your resume and like all your skills and stuff. So it's kind of like a LinkedIn page, but specifically for Belmont, which is really helpful.
Fantastic. Okay.
Okay, so next we're going to go to the housing tab, and so this will be really helpful so you can see exactly what your room assignment is, who your roommates are, and what your meal plan is. So you are going to get your housing assignment in June, and so it'll pop up on here. It'll show you who your roommate is, and so it'll give you their email, so that way you can contact them and kind of get to know them a little bit better before coming to school.
Before moving in with them.
Yeah, before you have to live with them. So yeah, but so then this tab is also super helpful just for when you register for housing for next year, because you'll just go to the housing selection draw, select your roommates, and then you'll select your room. And then if you want to change your meal plan for whatever reason, you can just go in here and do select or change my meal plan.
Very good.
Yeah.
So housing and meal plans both found under that link.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so this little tab, make payment. So this is for when you have to pay for your tuition, housing, meal plan, all that good stuff.
Anything financial account related.
Yes.
Okay.
So this will be more something that your parents probably do. I don't really go on it that much, but it's really helpful just to be able to see like how everything is broken down.
Okay. So people can set up things like authorized users, a profile, payments, etc.
Yes, exactly.
Very
So,
good.
and it'll show you exactly like what each thing will cost and everything like that. So you're not like wondering where all your money goes.
All clear and transparent.
Yes.
Very good. Okay.
Okay, and then so Brew and Print is this new thing that we have, which is so helpful. So all these printing stations are set up all over campus, and so basically what you can do is just, if you have a paper to print out or something, you can just select the printer as Brew and Print, and it'll go to basically this like cloud system. So you can go to any Brew and Print station on campus. Just swipe your ID, and then you can just print whatever you have on there, and it'll last for 24 hours, which is super helpful. So let's say I like do it the night before, I need to print it in the morning, I can just go do that. So it's
And
like
it
ready to
maintains
go.
that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a video tutorial as well as some step-by-step instructions right here for when you get on a campus too.
Yeah.
Very good.
So then just a couple other things. So campus security and safety. So if you're going to bring a car to campus, this is going to be really helpful because you have to register your vehicle. So if you go there, it's pretty easy to navigate. You just have to type in like make, model, year, all that stuff, just so like campus security knows like who to assign a sticker to, so that way you don't get a fine if your car's on campus.
And so you would get see an active permit here once you've registered that vehicle.
Yes. And
Very
then
good.
you'll just have to pick up your sticker when you come in the fall.
At campus security,
Yes, at campus security.
and then stick that on the back of your car.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, so the next really big important thing is convocation. So this is a requirement for graduation, just like all of your classes. So what you can do is, if you're wondering how much convo you need, you can go to check convo credit. And so there's 6 categories, and you need 10 hours of convocation in each category.
Okay.
So it'll show you exactly like how many you've had, how many you still need. And so let's say you want more like Christian faith and tradition because you don't have a lot, you can go to details, and it'll tell you all of the events that are coming up in the coming weeks, which is really helpful. So,
And of course, one of the things I love most about Belmont is this required convo is really about putting you guys into meetings, guest speakers, presentations with experts, with outside professionals that are coming onto campus and giving you the opportunity to not just go and learn from them outside of class, but to walk up and a lot of times shake a hand afterwards and start to build that network.
Yeah.
So the requirement here is not intended to be something that like, oh, I have to go like watch another expert talk. It's really more about putting you in these situations, in these different categories that we feel like we've determined will be helpful for you now and in the future. So it's definitely something you want to stay on top of. You don't want to delay. It absolutely will keep you from graduating if you don't have all of your convocation credits. And of course, you can find them both right there, as well as over here on the main page under the convocation schedule. So I really feel like 60 hours is almost the minimum that somebody should do, because there's so many great things happening here on this campus that can benefit you and your own career goals. So
there's definitely something for everyone also, because there's so many options. So you can kind of pick and choose like which ones you are interested in, and you can just go to that and you get convo for it, which is super awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so convocation schedule, credit, and keeping track of those.
Yes.
Very good.
So then financial information, this is kind of just what we already went over. You can go to your student page and just like see all your payments that you need to make. Personal records, so this is where you're going to be able to see your transcript and your final grades, which is super helpful at the end of the semester.
For sure.
So that won't be really applicable now, but it'll be
Well, and certainly
really
a lot of these other
later.
links are fairly obvious. Emergency contact info.
Yeah.
And then if you've got transcripts from any other schools or universities.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
So then this registration tab is all about registration, class finder, all that good stuff, which we will have in a couple other videos to help explain that a little bit more in depth. But
So when they need to go and actually register for classes, be sure to check out those videos.
yeah. So, and then, but the main thing right here is going to be this DegreeWorks tab. Okay, so this is your DegreeWorks page, and it's really helpful. So you can see all of this information up here, which will show your major, your class standing, and then your GPA, your advisors, which is going to be really helpful. So if you have any questions regarding classes that you need to take, you can just email them, and they're more than willing to help you out with that.
Very good.
So if you scroll down a little bit, so this is basically everything that you're going to need to graduate. So
Yeah.
this is kind of just blanket overview, and then each section will kind of go more in depth. So this is a Bell course, so it's just all of the major like gen ed classes that you will need to take while you're at Belmont.
Which they're calling the signature courses. So these are these Bell Core experiences. We mentioned that earlier in the video where we look at the first year seminar, something that we just registered for. And then your sophomore year, you'll have these interdisciplinary learning communities. Junior year, you will have a junior cornerstone. And then, of course, your senior year, you'll have a senior capstone. So it's kind of, as part of the Bell Core, specific experiences and classes that we designed for you at every level of the program. Very good.
Yeah, and so sometimes there will be different options or like paths that you can take depending on what classes there are. So for example, there's a religion path. So there's 2 different paths under religion. So you can kind of pick and choose which one you want to do. You don't have to fill out all of them. You just have to pick one and do that. So it'll say kind of like an and or thing depending on what you need.
And just to point this out, and I know we've got this mentioned in some DegreeWorks specifics videos, but what you can see is it's generally pretty clear. If it says, for example, still needed, and it only gives you one class in a very specific class, then you have to take exactly that class. In this case, for example, with religion, you see that you need 6 hours from the same path, either path A or B, and you also notice that these red boxes are kind of indented. So if you take path A, if you take Intro to Old Testament, in other words, then later on you're going to have to take Intro to New Testament. So you can see over here on the side. But you don't need to take all 4. It's showing you that you need either A or B. Very good.
Yeah. So then if you keep going down, these are your foundation courses. So these are more, I guess, like typical like gen ed courses that you would find at like any school. So it's like humanities, social science, speech, wellness, all that good stuff.
Some math, fine arts.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
It's great. And then if you keep going, so you're going to find just more degree-specific things. So it'll show you exactly what classes you need, and then it'll show you all of your progress, which is really, really helpful when registering for classes in the future, because it'll be pretty blank once you guys get here. But one of the helpful things is that if you have any AP credit, it probably won't show up by the time you are at registration during orientation, but I would just advise to not register for any of those classes if you do think that you might get AP credit from it, because that's what I did, and then I ended up getting AP credit from all the ones that I thought I would, so I didn't have to take any of those, which is really, really helpful. And so it'll later show up that you have completed it, and it'll say advanced placement.
So if they're just coming in here as a freshman, the advanced placement credit they might be bringing in from high school probably isn't going to show up the day when they're just trying to register over the summer. But otherwise, so your advice is basically to wait on any classes that you think might be replaced, and then if they don't actually transfer in, you could take them the following semester.
Yes, exactly.
Very good.
Awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, there's just more, it'll show you your major classes and all that stuff, and yeah, it's super helpful. And then it'll show you all the ones that you have in your free electives, all the ones that you have in progress, and ones that you have finished, all that good stuff.
Very good. Okay, so we've got all of your classes there, and this is definitely something, as somebody who advises a lot of students in the Curb College, I advise people to keep an eye on this. And even some people will print it out and go through and physically check off these classes as they complete them. But of course, DegreeWorks is also going to show you if the classes are already completed, and they'll no longer show here with a red box. So it's a pretty easy way of keeping track of the things that you've done, as well as what you've still got left to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
That's about it for like this side of the page. It's like pretty good overview. There's a lot of different tabs that are really, really useful, and it's like your main kind of source of
Your launch pad.
yeah, exactly. So
Very good.
it's just all the main things that you'll need to use while you're here at Belmont. So, and then as Nathan said earlier, these are all the campus-wide announcements that are going on. And these change all the time, so they're always being updated. So there's always new things to look at, which is really exciting. And then, like we said, there is a full calendar and a convocation schedule. So if you go to the full calendar, you can see all the events that are happening within a certain week on campus, and all the red ones will be convocation events.
Eligible for convocation credit.
Yes.
Very good.
So on the full calendar, you can check, just like click on one, and it'll bring up a little bit more like detailed information for all of them. So I have like kind of a description, like who the contact is for it, and here it'll show you the category for it as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Amanda, thanks for taking us on an overview of My Belmont.
Of course, my pleasure.
And we'll see you next time in the next video.